Welcome to the Pharmacist Voice podcast, where we talk about pharmacy topics and careers. I'm your host, Kim Newlove, and this is episode 281. Today, we're talking about the pronunciation of levothyroxine and Synthroid. I'll divide both drug names into syllables, tell you which syllables to emphasize, and then I'll share my sources. The written pronunciations can be helpful, of course, so you can see those in the show notes on thepharmacistvoice.com. Let's get started with levothyroxine first. Levothyroxine has 5 syllables. Lee like Bruce Lee, the actor. Vo like vocation. Thigh like thyroid. ROX, which rhymes with fox. And een like clean. Put that all together and you get levothyroxine. Emphasize LEE and ROX. Emphasize ROX the most. See if you can hear that emphasis when I say it again. Levothyroxine. 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 My source is the USP Dictionary Online. That is my favorite generic drug name reference. It is a subscription-based resource, and you can find a link to it in the show notes on thepharmacistvoice.com. That does it for levothyroxine. Let's move on to Synthroid next. Synthroid has 2 syllables. Syn like cinnamon, and throid like thyroid without the Y. Throid. Put both syllables together and you get Synthroid. I tend to emphasize the syllable syn, but I couldn't exactly find a reference that indicates the syllable with the emphasis, so see if you can hear any emphasis when I say it again. Synthroid. Synthroid. See, I think the emphasis is on syn. My source for the pronunciation of Synthroid is a video for healthcare professionals on synthroid.com. You can find a link to that website in the show notes for episode 281 on thepharmacistvoice.com. This is a pretty short and straightforward episode, so let's review. We talked about the pronunciations of levothyroxine and Synthroid today. I divided both drug names into syllables, told you which syllables to emphasize, and then I shared my sources. The written pronunciations are in the show notes, and that does it for this episode. Thank you for joining me to learn how to say levothyroxine and Synthroid. To find the show notes for this episode, go to thepharmacistvoice.com, click on the podcast tab, and search for episode 281. In the show notes, you'll find the written pronunciations for both drug names, levothyroxine and Synthroid, links to the other 32 episodes in my drug name pronunciation series, my social media links, and more. If you're looking for a narrator for your voiceover project, please reach out to me through my website, thepharmacistvoice.com. If you know someone who needs to learn how to say levothyroxine and Synthroid, please share this episode with them. And if you like this podcast, please subscribe to or follow the Pharmacist Voice podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube to get each new episode right when it comes out. Thanks for listening today. I'll talk to you next Friday.